Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. This one we are doing from the car. This is Alex's Lexus because the van is a bit unwell at the moment. Been driving this around for a few weeks now, so God bless the people that I am surrounded by, because without them, I don't know what I would do with my life or where I'd be. I definitely wouldn't be the person who I am today or where I am today without, obviously, the people that I surround myself with. And I am truly, and it seems so cliche to say that I am fucking blessed by my friends, but it's as simple as that. I am truly blessed. And beyond grateful for my mates, and particularly Alex and Ella as mates. You know, they've done so much for me. So Alex and Ella, I know you guys aren't listening, but if for whatever reason you just happen to stumble across this video, I fucking love you guys, and I am just beyond grateful for everything that you guys have done for me. So, but that's not what I am here to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was a little friends called depression and anxiety. Now, this is a bit of, has the potential to be a bit of a sad and a sad recording, I should say. But as I've mentioned in a number of my videos now, depression and anxiety are only negative things because we perceive them as negatives, and obviously we feel them as negatives as well. I've suffered heavily from depression and anxiety, and I'm very vocal about my battles with both of them. I've nearly taken my own life on more than one occasion because of my own depression and my own anxiety, and that was, a big one was leading up into my just before my heart surgery. I nearly took my own life because I was given 90 days to have my surgery, which is hectic enough. Open heart surgery is never never going to be a small hurdle to climb over. So I was given 90 days, but then that was pushed out to about 6 months by the time I ended up having the surgery. So for a bloke who already suffered anxiety and depression, that prolonged wait time then made me feel like my life was taken out of my control. And back in those days, I was a major control freak. I've done a lot of work to make sure that I'm not so much of a control freak. Still a bit of work to do, but I've learned the art of letting go, and that's a very powerful tool. But as I was saying before, I was suffering anxiety and depression beforehand, and that's upbringing, all that kind of stuff. But when your life really feels like it's being taken out of your control, for me at least, I felt like I needed to take it back into my control. And that was where I woke up 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and this was on technically a Wednesday morning. It was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and I was surrounded by 3 of my closest mates in my house, and I still felt like I couldn't reach out to any of them because that was just the state I was in. And there was nothing that I felt that they could have done to actually help me, because this was a decision that I had made at that time to take my own life back into my control. And that was tough. Obviously it was difficult, and it was a very trialing and testing point in my life, but clearly didn't go through with it. Not in this particular reality though. Anyway, maybe in another one I did, but in this one I still had a drive to live, and I still had purpose, and there was something more that I needed to give. And the reason that is the case is simply because I'm still here. I am still alive, and I didn't follow through on my thoughts and actions that were taking place at that time. I know what it's like. I know it is fucking difficult, and I know it's tough, and I know that we feel that shit within our body. And what I've come to learn about my own depression and anxiety, because it's still something that I battle, and it's something that I battle with every single day. But what I've learnt about them is, if I can remove myself from the situation and objectively look at the depression or anxiety for what it is, which is merely just a symptom of something else, then I can actually take away a lot of the negative connotations that we put around the depression and anxiety. And I can actually look at it objectively, and the benefit of doing that is I can actually see it for what it is, which is a lesson. And when you take it and look at it in that way, then it stops being a detriment to your life and can actually be another tool that is at your disposal. And if you have the ability to tune into it and find out the root cause of the depression or the anxiety, then you actually have the ability to utilize that depression and anxiety as your ally, not as your enemy. And that is incredibly fucking powerful. So by us changing the narrative of the way that we perceive depression and anxiety, it goes from being your enemy to being your ally. And shit, that gives me goosebumps just thinking about it right now. And I think that that's huge, because all it is a matter of our own perception. It's a matter of our own awareness as to how we are looking at these two imposters in our life, and utilizing, especially anxiety. If you have anxiety about something, then sit down and listen as to why you have anxiety. And generally, unfortunately for us, the anxiety is coming because of our own actions. Well, at least for me, that's I get worried about outcomes of things because I haven't been prepared, or I haven't done in the past what I was supposed to do. So my anxiety ultimately is really my fault. And it's not, and again, I understand that, like, this is I'm blanketing a lot here, so please know that I understand that anxiety and depression are both very, very complex, but if we break it down, then they can actually become very, very simple. And the simple part of the equation of depression and anxiety is, depression is being caught up on the past, and anxiety is being caught up on the future. Rather than being completely present in this moment, we are losing ourselves in points of time that have either gone or they aren't even here yet. So it's either way, it's, to be honest, it's irrelevant. So if we can focus on the present moment and actually sit in that depression and anxiety, don't wish it away, sit in the present moment and be completely present, then you will kind of abolish or have the opportunity, you if you do the practice and do it well, then you will completely abolish any anxiety or depression that you have. But if you can sit in it and feel those emotions for what they are, then you can actually start deconstructing it and forming them into being your allies rather than your enemies. And I think that is so very, very powerful, and I think that's such an awesome sentiment for a lot of people going through it. Again, I understand that it's a very complex situation, and I understand that as well as anybody, but it's just because of that perception that we're taking on them, and that's simply it. And that's a subconscious, like, this is shit that will go back to your childhood, so that those foundational periods of your life are formed inside you, right? So you need to then change that, bring them to your conscious awareness, and then start breaking those neural pathways on how you perceive anxiety and depression. And by creating those new neural pathways, you are going to be in a much better position for it. And it's going to take work, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. But if you can take those conscious steps forward, then you're going to change your life, just by changing the way that you perceive two emotions and symptoms ultimately that come into your life. But anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. That was a little bit heavier. I understand that, and it's tough. It is challenging. If you are going through anxiety or depression, please know that there is, whichever country that you're in, there is a shitload of support around you, and you are not the only one in this world that is probably going through the things that you're going through. So reach out. There is a support group around you. If you feel like you don't have one, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to discuss. This is something that I've done a lot of work in, obviously personally myself, but there is a bucket load of support. And if you are going through those things and you are still here, you're still holding on, you're fighting that good fucking fight, please know that you are a warrior. You're a warrior because you are still here on this planet, choosing to live, because ultimately it is a choice. So you are a shitload stronger than you probably give yourself credit for. So for that, I say thank you and well fucking done. And I'm just damn proud of you for still being here and still holding on and gracing this world with your presence, because you are a magnificent bloody creature. But anyway, that's it, guys. Signing off. I better focus on the road because the traffic's getting pretty bad. But yeah, anyway, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. If this has raised any concerns for you or anything, please reach out to me. Reach out to your support group. And if you need some contacts here in Australia, I've got lots of contacts of places that we'll be able to get love and support. So, all right, guys. I wish you all a bloody fantastic day. And as always, much love and namaste.